Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Exact Track 40 radar and our live sky cam in Ann Arbor, showing you the weather story. It's gray skies, rain and storms once again as we head into the evening hours. Thank you so much for being with us for the news at 6 o'clock. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. We've finally gotten some relief from that extreme heat that we've been experiencing over the last few days, but that storm threat does remain. Meteorologist Brian Sherman is in for Kim Adams tonight. He's tracking those storms for us. Brian?
Hey there, Ty and Kimberly. Good evening, everyone. The good news from the storms we've had over the past 2 to 3 hours, we are starting to see a downward trend in some of those showers. No lightning showing up here on Exact Track 40 radar as we've worked through the past 30 to 45 minutes. That's a good news here, but some rain still falling over portions of southeastern Oakland County, working over into portions of southern Macomb County, so east of Birmingham and Berkeley, north of Madison Heights, then working over toward Fraser, Roseville, and East Point, seeing some showers. Harper Woods, the Grosse Pointe communities in Wayne County, working down toward Hamtramck, a few showers showing up. Outside of that, I've been keeping my eyes on a few showers that have started to develop over portions of Monroe County, working out of Adrian and Lenawee County, a few showers showing up. So just to the east of Blissfield, a few showers showing up this evening, then working over toward Dundee and right along I-75 from Monroe down to LaSalle, as well as toward Erie, just north of the Ohio-Michigan state line. So we're going to keep an eye on the radar as we head throughout the rest of the evening hours tonight, but the thunderstorm threat really isn't going anywhere anytime soon. We're actually trying to break into a little sunshine here on Tower Cam over downtown Detroit, sitting at 73 degrees heading into the evening hours tonight. Our frontal boundary down to the south, still the catalyst for some of these showers and thunderstorms, but I think in a couple more hours we are winding this down. Temperatures falling into the 70s by midnight tonight, 60s early tomorrow morning. More strong to severe storms could be possible tomorrow. I'll break down what you can expect in your complete forewarned forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Hey, we'll see in just a bit, Brian. Thank you. A judge heard arguments today in the case of a former Warren police officer charged with manslaughter.
Domar Pettis and Cedric Hayden were killed when their vehicle was struck by a police SUV driven by James Burke. Burke was reportedly driving at more than 100 miles per hour with no lights and sirens on, and there was not a pursuit going on at the time. Today in court, prosecutors laid out their case and the defense presented their theory of their own. Jay Scott Smith joins us live with the details. And Jay, of course, the victims' families were there as well.
Yes, indeed, Ty and Kim. Good evening, everybody. And this was originally thought to be the final day of this preliminary hearing, but in fact, it will carry on. And it was the introduction of that dash cam video of the crash that made for an even more emotional courtroom today.
The preliminary hearing for former Warren police officer James Burke convened for its third day. Now, Burke has been charged with 2 felony counts of vehicular homicide as well as manslaughter, along with a pair of misdemeanor charges in connection with the high-speed crash that happened just before 5 a.m. on September 30th, 2024. Dashcam video released on Monday by Figer Law shows Burke in his police-issued Ford Explorer driving at speeds topping 115 miles per hour when he smashes into a white Dodge Durango and was making a left turn from Shaner onto Prospect Avenue. The brutal impact killing 2 men inside, 34-year-old Cedric Hayden Jr. and 33-year-old Domar Pettis. The video was shown during the hearing today by prosecutors, eliciting audible gasps and tears from family members in the gallery. Hayden's father, Cedric Sr., says seeing the video is like torture.
It's devastating. It's hard. I mean, you just keep seeing it over and over again. That's a very hard sight to keep looking at.
The Explorer did not have its emergency lights and sirens on, and the officer was not involved directly in a chase. For the prosecution, it was Burke's speed and the lack of lights and sirens that was at issue. The defense, meanwhile, attempted to blame the victims for the crash, bringing in an expert to say the Durango made an illegal turn into the speeding Explorer.
My son was just turning a corner, going home like he normally do every day. And this man, I'm quite sure every day he's not doing 500 million miles an hour going down Shaner. But particularly he have done it in the past, and he's doing it now. And he smacked my son.
Now, also, along with this criminal case, the Pettis and Hayden families have filed a civil suit as well. And this hearing will continue on because at the last minute, the defense brought forward more witnesses, and they're going to need more time to prepare them. So this hearing will continue on July 30th, and that did not set well at all with the families. We're live in Warren. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
A case that's far from over. Jay, thank you.
Sky 4 capturing the moment a man is placed in handcuffs after allegedly firing a shotgun at neighbors and homes in Van Buren Township. Calls to police started rolling in just after noon. Police say the man also had a handgun and was shooting recklessly in a neighborhood near Bog Road and Rossonville Roads. Local 4 talked to a neighbor who was sitting on her front porch when she heard the first gunshots.
First thing I saw was the three little kids riding their bikes. I hear it, 3 pop, pop, pops. I thought it was firecrackers. And next thing I see, they're riding their bikes back down that way, and he gets in his car and goes down about 5 houses and sits there. Police came and they said everybody needs to be inside because he was actively shooting, and he was shooting in this direction.
When police arrived, the man was reportedly still firing before barricading himself inside a home. The man gave himself up after about an hour. Nobody was hurt. We're still waiting to learn what charges that man will face.
Some Teamsters union workers at Airgas in Ferndale have been let go over a recent work stoppage. This impacts the Airgas location on Faro Street. Here's an official statement from Airgas. It says, quote, "The recent work stoppage initiated by Teamsters Local 283 at our Ferndale location was a breach of our existing contract, and as a result, Airgas made the difficult decision to proceed with termination of the employees involved in accordance with the terms of that contract." And it goes on to say, quote, "We have robust contingency plans in place to ensure there is no disruption in service to our customers." And finally, quote, "Airgas respects the lawful bargaining process, and we remain committed to negotiating in good faith with our union partners to reach fair agreements, just as we have successfully done many times before." End of quote. We have reached out to the Teamsters Local 283 for comment and to find out how many workers may be affected by this, but we are still waiting to hear back.
A paper company has agreed to clean up a site in St. Clair County where the state says it dumped forever chemicals that seeped into the groundwater. Michigan's Attorney General filed suit back in 2022 claiming Domar Industries knowingly sent PFAS-contaminated waste from its Port Huron paper mill to a company-controlled composting site in Kimball Township. The PFAS seeped into groundwater, soil, and sediments surrounding the site. As part of a new settlement, Domar has agreed to remove those contaminated compost piles and dispose of them in a licensed landfill. They'll also investigate PFAS and sediments in surface waters at the Kimball Township site. Domar will pay $300,000 to the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, or EGLE, for additional PFAS work at the site.
In just a few hours, people will be gathering in Ann Arbor searching for an elderly man with Parkinson's disease who disappeared 2 days ago. His name is 82-year-old Ralph Yang, and he went for a walk Monday near Pin Oak and White Oak Drive, but he never made it home. Yang was wearing a light blue long-sleeve shirt with white stripes and light blue pants. Tonight's search party starts at 7:30 in the parking lot of Forsyth Middle School in Newport Road. Anyone who sees Ralph Yang should call 911 immediately. You can also call the Ann Arbor Police Department. That number is 734-794-6920. Nonprofits across Metro Detroit provide a wide range of programs and resources that many community members rely on.
But finding and maintaining funding for many of those programs is becoming more challenging for some of the groups these days. Local 4's Domar Fernandez spoke with one organization about how it's staying focused on being a lifeline for families.
You know, the staff at Matrix Human Service told me they're committed to bringing quality services and resources to neighbors and communities that could really use them. And even in uncertain budget times, they say their goal is being proactive by always keeping people first. On any given day in Metro Detroit, many parents are relying on support to help their children get through the day.
Tiger?
And for parents like Melissa Love,
how old are you, Jamila?
That support is through early Head Start programs for her 1-year-old daughter, Jamila.
It's a big relief.
Love says resources provided through the organization Matrix Human Services, which operates early Head Start and Head Start programs, are vital.
4.
Helping about 1,000 vulnerable families access free daily child care and education.
A family, a single mother, need a village, and Matrix has been a village for me and my family.
And that's not it. Neighbors describe Matrix Human Services as a community hub, facilitating a wide range of programs for children and adults.
We're really excited about the work that we have been able to do.
Star Allen Petway is the nonprofit's president and CEO. She gave us a tour of the new Matrix Center opening to help support local budding entrepreneurs. Behind the scenes, she says her team's staying focused on making sure these services and programs continue to grow. How do you guys stay focused, especially in these uncertain budget times?
You know, I think the level of uncertainty that exists, it exists for Matrix. I'm sure it exists for a host of nonprofits in this community. But our focus remains the people. It remains the family. It's the children. We know that those services are needed, and we're doing everything in our power to ensure that our programs continue, not just to grow, but to remain readily accessible and available to the community.
And that's a huge plus for parents like Love, who say that commitment is making a difference. You know, the team at Matrix stays busy offering programs like Head Start, summer camps, health clinics, senior services, job support, and so many other programs. And his team told me it's intentional about bringing those programs and services to communities that are considered resource deserts.